Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. Something's Gotta Give is an unfinished American feature film that was shot in 1962. It was directed by George Cukor, and it starred Marilyn Monroe, Dean Martin, and Sid Charisse. It's actually a remake of a film from 1940 called My Favorite Wife, which was a screwball comedy that starred Irene Dunne and Cary Grant. It was Monroe's last work, but from the very beginning of the production, it was completely thrown into shambles by her personal troubles. And after her death in August of 1962, the movie was completely abandoned. Most of its completed footage remained unseen for many years. The storyline goes that Ellen Arden, a photographer and mother of 2 small children, has been declared legally dead, having been lost at sea in the Pacific. Her husband Nick has remarried. He and his new wife Bianca are on their honeymoon when Ellen, rescued from an island where she's been stranded for 5 years, returns home. The family dog remembers her, but the children don't. However, they do take a liking to her and invite her to stay. Ellen assumes a foreign accent and pretends to be a woman named Ingrid. Nick, flustered by the revelation that he's now married to 2 women, makes great effort to keep the truth from his new wife, all the while trying to squash her amorous advances. Upon learning that Ellen was marooned on that island with a man named Stephen Burkett, who she knew as Adam, to her Eve, he becomes insanely jealous and suspicious of her fidelity. In order to calm his fears, Ellen enlists a meek shoe salesman to impersonate her island companion. Several weeks before principal photography began, the cast and crew gathered for wardrobe test on the set that was a fully lit recreation of the director's Beverly Hills home. The production designer, named Gene Allen, was sent with a crew of men to Cukor's home on Cordell Drive in L.A. to photograph the house and the pool areas of his estate. It's said that the director was photographed in the set's courtyard with the intent of using that photo as a 1962 Christmas card. Marilyn Monroe had been absent from the screen for over a year. She had recently undergone gallbladder surgery and had lost more than 25 pounds, reaching the lowest weight of her adult life. Before shooting began, Miss Monroe let the producers know that she had been asked by the White House to perform for President John F. Kennedy at Madison Square Garden in honor of his birthday on May 29, 1962. The producer went ahead and gave her permission to attend the gala, believing that there would be no problems on the set. The original male lead was not going to be Dean Martin at all. It was going to be James Garner, but he opted to make The Great Escape instead. On the very first day of production, which was April 23, 1962, Marilyn phoned the producer to let him know that she had a very serious sinus infection and would not be on the set that morning. Apparently, she had caught this infection during a trip to New York to visit her acting coach, Lee Strasberg, all done to go over the role that she was about to play in this film. The studio then sent their staff physician to examine the star at her home. His diagnosis would have postponed the movie for an entire month, but the director refused to wait. Instead, he reorganized the shooting schedule to film the scenes around his leading lady. At 7:30 a.m., co-star Sid Charisse was telephoned and summoned to the Fox lot. Later that morning, the first scene of the film was shot, involving Dean Martin's character and Charisse's in an encounter with the children building a treehouse. Over the next month, filming continued mostly without Marilyn Monroe at all, who showed up only occasionally due to headaches, fever, chronic sinusitis, and bronchitis. By this time, the production was totally over budget, and the script was still not completely finalized. It seemed like they rewrote the thing nightly, with Monroe growing increasingly frustrated at having to memorize new scenes every day. On Friday, June 1st, 1962, Monroe's 36th birthday, she and Dean Martin and Wally Cox shot a scene in the courtyard set. Monroe's stand-in, Evelyn Moriarty, bought a $7 sheet cake at the Los Angeles Farmers Market. They had a studio illustrator draw a cartoon of a nude Marilyn Monroe holding a towel, which read "Happy Birthday Suit." It was to be used as a birthday card and signed by the cast and crew. The cast attempted to celebrate when Monroe arrived, but the director insisted that they wait till the end of the day because he wanted to get in a full day of shooting when he had her. It would be Monroe's last day on the set. She left the party with Cox and had borrowed a fur-trimmed gray suit that she had worn while filming that day because she was to attend a muscular dystrophy fundraiser in Dodger Stadium that evening with her former husband, Joe DiMaggio. On June 4th, 1962, Monroe phoned the producer to inform him that she wouldn't be on the set again, that she had had a flare-up of her illness. They made a decision at that point that she should be fired from the project. Now, one of the most intense and colorful scenes of the whole production was a time where Marilyn skinny dips in a swimming pool. The director originally decked her out in a flesh-colored bikini, but it really turned out to be so transparent that he conned her into taking the thing off and doing it in real life. This scene was all the talk and was considered the skinny dipping scene of all time that was never seen. Now you can go online and type in Marilyn Monroe skinny dipping scene, and you can see quite a few clips of the actual shoot from that day. You can also see the entire short film on YouTube. I think it's only like 37 minutes long, but it's definitely worth seeing and probably would have been a big hit had it been completely finished. Go back and take a look at this fun film from 1962. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.